All right, there we go. So three, two, and one. Well, Mayor Zacher, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com.
Michael.
Uh, First off, we are dirty little secret for everybody. Of course, we film these ahead of time. I do not film these at 5 in the morning on Monday. 5 in the morning and I do not get along whatsoever. So as we are filming this, the NFL schedule is being released. Uh, how do you feel about the Packers this year?
I feel great, like I do every year.
Mhm.
It's a blank slate.
Yeah,
Anything can happen, right? It's a beautiful time of year, and they haven't
absolutely.
played yet, so there's no like bad baggage yet. So yeah, it's this is always the best time of the year for this.
Mhm. Yeah, and I can confirm a leak that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be playing a game on February 8th at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, with the opponent to be determined out of the NFC. So yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
This is it. This is
All right.
finally it. 30 some years of existence. The Jaguars are finally going to get there.
Jaguars.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. So yes, there we go. You heard it here first. But Matt, one thing we haven't seen yet, and I guess being told that you just got permission to do this interesting uh, community kind of thing as you're demoing the mill. You've actually been given permission to go in there and kind of film some things and show the people what's going on in the mill as you're taking it down and taking it apart. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is something that just kind of came through people in the community that asked if we could help with this, and so I reached out to CRG, the owners of the mill right now, and they agreed it was good, and they talked to MRD, the people taking the craft mill down right now, and I talked with the owner there, Jerry. Again, great company, doing great things for making sure that we are when this is all said and done, we'll be as whole as possible, and they're doing a great job with that. But they all agreed that they were comfortable with taking some precautions, I guess, just with worker privacy kind of thing. But to be able to film the entire demolition from beginning till end. And for the most part, that was happening on a private level, anyways, outside of the mill gates and stuff.
Of course.
People doing it at their own accord. So uh, there will be. I look forward to it. So Wisconsin Rapids Community Media, Joe and Taylor are going to be working on getting that footage and putting it together, working their magic like they do, and being able to put it out for the community so everybody can see it. And in different aspects, they'll be creative about maybe speeding it up, slowing it down when the stacks are coming down and all that. So again, pure like respect and honor for everything that went into actually building that mill. And I'm sure for some people, knowing what I know about how fast life goes now with kids, that seems like yesterday that they just built that craft mill, and they were there when it happened and they were a big part of it. So I have nothing but respect for the people that really built this. But at the same time, to celebrate the future and what we have to move towards and be excited about the community and what's possible. This, we can use this as a community building tool to just, keep people informed and let them be a part of the process. So it'll be
So, how
good.
far along are we now in the process of taking down and recycling some of the elements of the mill?
So first thing, after they got the permits and they did the testing for the asbestos, was getting rid of that. So they went through the whole asbestos removal of the entire thing, and that was a process, but they were ready to go. They know how to do it, and do it safely, and that was done. And then they brought in the big machines and the people that know how to run them, and they just clipping apart little by little, and you see the big piles of the different metals, so they're separating it all as they go along, and you just see it methodically coming down. Most of the buildings, I didn't realize this, the outer shell was aluminum, which was cheaper back in the day when they
Oh
built
yeah.
it, but it was smart to make sure that it was, well, in the end they built it to be there forever, so I don't think they ever saw this happening when they were putting it up. But that means there's a whole lot of aluminum that's getting recycled out of there. and they have to recycle every bit of metal they can in order to make their profit after they pay off the money they put down to purchase the materials to begin with. So doing a great job and just watching it come down. And I think they had originally said 18 months, and I think they're sticking to it. Again, I'm sure it'll be, somewhere within that time frame. So
Sure.
somewhere towards the end of this year, it's kind of seems what the schedule is looking like still.
And how serendipitous would it be then if that is the kind of aluminum that Metalco can handle at the Wisconsin Rapids facility? You
So
could just kind of
I,
ship it right
yeah,
across town.
I that would be great. I could go into specifics like Metalco deals mainly with the 6000 series aluminum
Sure.
which is extruded aluminum, and this
Mhm.
is sheet aluminum, which I think is 4000 series. So I don't know if the two meet, but I
Sure.
know they have outlets for this and they have such massive quantities of it that it's getting packaged up and going to the best pair, which is going to be the mill that wants it the most and can handle the most quantities. So
It would have just been so perfect to have
yeah,
Metalco right there saying, "Yeah, let's take this
keep it
in."
in, keep it in.
I
Yeah.
understand you can't just walk into the Metalco facility and hand them a beer can and say, "Hey, here, recycle this." Not that I've tried or anything at any time or another, but
It
I
it is
digress.
interesting. They can take it's like making a cake, you're adding in different ingredients and I think they can actually melt in some of the canned material and make what they need for the final ingredient, the final mix. But cans in and of itself are a 304 aluminum, and they're like it's the most desired aluminum just the way it is. So most can companies want that back if they can get it to make new cans out of it as easy as possible.
Okay, now you're just showing off.
Well, that was my
Now you're
business for
just
20
showing
years,
off.
so I'm proud of
Like
that.
it's like you've worked in this business before, Mayor
Yeah,
Zach.
yeah.
But yes, great to see that progress, I should say, is being made. And of course, then the next natural question is, are you getting any bites right now on something to go at the site of the mill? And I think I know the answer to it, but I still have to ask anyway.
Well, I will say that, and this is again staying as general as possible just to keep everybody happy, but the most activity that has been, for people wanting to see the mill, see the 16 building and see the power, understand everything that it has to happen, started, right around the time that the whole conversation with tariffs started. And it increased greatly. So something along the lines of if it's going to cost less to build stuff in the United States because of the tariffs, then we need to find a facility to do that. So we'll see how things play out because now there's a pause, excuse me, and all these other things are happening, but you never know where things will end up panning out. But definitely there's interest in it and some really good opportunities. Nothing's for sure, kind of really in life ever, especially to this magnitude. I mean, you're talking about billions of dollars and a lot of employees or a lot of power. Like everything is just so big when it comes to what we're talking about. The crazy part about this is data centers are coming out of the woodwork and they're only going to continue to come out of the woodwork because we all know there's going to be an explosion in data storage facilities. Um, the tricky part to them is they want the power, understandably so. And once they have the power, you're not going to have, they're going to use up all the power because that's their business model. So I appreciate and respect the data companies and what they're doing and the storage facilities and AI. It's a big part of our future, and I look forward to seeing how everything plays out. But at the same time, as the leader of a community, I need to stay focused on all avenues to bring in employment and economy, money and skills and all that stuff. So you try to keep as much as you can impact it. You try to keep all the doors open.
All things are on the table at
Yes,
this point. Yes,
absolutely.
we can neither confirm nor deny that Amazon is involved, or even just a big glorious Chick-fil-A for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we were sad to hear the news that what is it? Fridays,
TGI Fridays. Yeah.
is it TGI Fridays? No, Applebee's. Applebee's went closed their doors in our
Mhm.
community. So we'll be
Oh,
interested to see if somebody's able to, retrofit the building and bring in something else. So we hopefully look forward to that because change is always good. I feel bad for Applebee's. I don't
sure.
know exactly what happens there. It seems like restaurants kind of have their cycle. So yeah, so I feel for them, but at the same time, see what's going in there. We'll be excited about that. We have a new tsunami car washing facility that just opened up. So I met those folks today. I just went there to say thanks for investing in the community. Always tricky, like the new car wash opens up, it takes business from the old car washes, and I respect them for what they're doing and the investments they've made. So it's always a little bit of give and take in terms of the appreciation and all that. But anybody that invest in your community, that you got to appreciate what they're doing and the risks they're taking. So it's good.
And as I will also say, I've never been disappointed by a pizza and a beer. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got room for that at the old Applebee's facility.
yeah,
I'll be right there opening day.
yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens. Everybody, it's kind of everybody's waiting, see what happens. So
Mhm. Absolutely. One
yep.
more thing then before we let you go. Obviously, we're into the street construction portion of the calendar. What can drivers going through Wisconsin Rapids expect to see as far as work getting done? And I guess more importantly, in the very near term, detours and delays that they can be expecting.
Yeah, right now things are okay in terms of the detours and delays. Nobody's complaining too much, nothing's set up. I think the biggest thing that was on people's minds, and we might have talked about it before a little bit, is A Street, which is a connecting highway, state highway. And we did spend a lot of time on that. It's a new mixture that we got, part asphalt, part mastic that's more, gonna stick to the old cement better.
Mhm.
So we were able to fill, I mean, that road part, especially the oldest part of it is just a mess. So they're able to clean it all out, vacuum it, get all the old, rocks and debris out of there and fill it with this stuff. It's not the smoothest road, but at the same time, it's there and it should last for another 3 years because 2028 is when it's scheduled for complete tear out and relaying of new road. So it's going to be 9 inches of brand new blacktop. And then in 32, we'll get the second half done. So to me, that's the biggest one that's on everybody's mind. And, I get the most phone calls on and try to explain that to everybody. And we are doing the best we can to make it drivable with as comfortable as possible. But not
Mhm.
everybody understands the amount of money and cooperation and red tape it takes sometimes to make all this stuff happen. So
That's
appreciate the
why we
patience.
say that's why we say at the speed of government, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, I definitely respect everybody that's working in the government. We have a whole lot of proclamations. We have Professional Clerks Week and Public Service Week, Police Week, EMS Week, Public Works Week again. So I definitely appreciate everybody that plays a role in the government and the jobs that they have and that they show up every day and they're making it happen. And I think most people take a lot of it for granted, as I did before I got into it and understood the enormity of what it takes to actually make a city whole and function as well as it does, so people aren't even thinking about it.
Hmm.
But yes, at the same time, it has its inefficiencies in the sense that there's so much red tape sometimes and conversations that have to be had in different departments and different levels of government. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, especially for somebody coming from the private sector where it's you make a decision, you're all on board, you move forward, you correct as you need to, and you just keep moving and making it happen. It's a little slower than that, and you kind of have to let it have its time, but at the same time, stay on top of it and keep it going so that you do get to the end as fast as possible.
And all those proclamations that you mentioned, why is it so important to make those? Because to again, as you mentioned, somebody from the outside who doesn't see everything that goes on at City Hall, or maybe doesn't follow everything that goes on at City Hall. This is just a little formal speech that's given at the start of a city council meeting that they kind of say, okay, hurry up, let's get to the actual voting part of it. But why is it important to take that time to make those proclamations for those employees that are putting in the work?
Well, in my opinion, it's just the recognition. I think everybody should get it. And I think for the most part, I don't know, for whatever reason, we're not too keen on giving people kudos, recognition, for the hard work that they do. And it's interesting. We're facing what seems like a worker shortage right now countrywide. Um, and I would think that at some point in time, like I don't know if it was old school mentality where people just knew you come, you do your job, you go home. It's not, you don't get, real recognition for it. And I think the bosses had fair game to yell and do whatever it took to get the job done as fast as possible. But for the most part, it seems like we got to rethink that a little bit now and at least just say, you know what, we appreciate the fact that you're showing up here every day, you're working hard, you're learning what we need you to learn, you're respectful, and keep, make sure the good employees know that we appreciate them and work with the people who are struggling to the point where you can. I mean, at some point in time, people make their own bed and they got to lay in it. But for the most part, I think we have to just go ahead and, take the time to acknowledge everybody that is showing up every day and working hard to make our city go. So for that, it's important to show our appreciation to these folks.
Absolutely. Mayor Zacher, we always appreciate the time. We'll look forward to chatting again next month.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Have a good night.